Alright, so I just got done reading that part of the chapter about both the hypo-functional versus hyper-functional. Don't mind me looking at my book occasionally because there's a lot of information. But, the use of both the lips, jaw, or tongue, and how to correct hypo versus hyperfunctional issues that occur. So the first thing I want to talk about is what it exactly means to be hyperfunctional, and it seems, or not hyper, sorry. I might slip up once in a while. I'll try to catch it and correct it. But hypo, so this is not enough use or movement or very inconsistent feeling to maintain the lips, jaw, or tongue movement needed to sing properly. And this can mean immobile or flaccid lips and just no forming going on at all. No proper use of vowels. Just none of that being executed the right way. And that's usually a problem in beginner singers because they don't understand yet how to do those things. And so my favorite out of the exercises I read that I'd like to demonstrate. Actually, I should demonstrate the fault first. The fault, I'll do it on a little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'll try it right now where I'm not moving really my lips, jaw, or tongue enough. So we'll go, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So not only did I have no consistent tone, so that was the impact on the singing. The tone was bad. But also, there was kind of tension back here almost a little bit because I wasn't putting any effort in here. So that's what I felt anyways. And then the feel was just uncomfortable. So it didn't feel right, that's for sure. So that's that fault. Hypo in both lips, jaw, and tongue. Just not having consistent use or enough use at all. So my favorite exercise I saw out of the 5 that there are was the exaggerated movement on the mama, ya, baba, or la, etc. All those. So I'll demonstrate that right now. Ya, ba, ba. La, and I'll do it on a tone too once. Ya. Ba, ba. La. Okay, so that forces you to be more consistent when you do those little, wouldn't be a syllable. Well, no, yeah, those little syllables. Okay, so then next would be the hyper-functional use of the lips. So that's the exact opposite. Really rigid, too much. Maybe not the appropriate use of a vowel, too, and not understanding how to execute that vowel the right way, too. My take on that, I guess, or my understanding. So, to demonstrate that, I'm not completely sure how to demonstrate that. Maybe I do it and don't even know it when I try to sing. I'm not sure, but I guess maybe overuse of lips would be going out too far when you're trying to sing a tone. So I'll try it one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, favorite of mine. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yep. Too much. When it's too much, your tone goes kind of like when you spread on an instrument. You go too much with the lips, the buzz. It spreads, and then it's just bad, and it's out of tune. So that was the impact. The tension was all in here. So way too much. All the tension was in here for sure. And then the feel, I could see where it may feel right to a beginner who is trying to enter the intermediate part of singing there, and they're maybe just going too hard because they're like, I gotta prove it. I gotta prove I can do it. So maybe that's what's going on to cause that. And then my favorite exercise out of what I was reading for this one was having the student experiment on different vowels and consonants. I didn't write down any consonants. I guess some good consonants could be the same used on some of the nasal problems we talked about before. So the n. So I guess that works on the control of these lips here. And then the E, A, I, O, U. I guess if I know the ah you said wasn't very useful. So maybe E Ooh, E gets you to control that tension, switching back and forth possibly between those. So, yep, I'll demonstrate that a little more. E, E, A, Yep. Okay. So I did some demo of that exercise. And I think you'd just probably vamp that one or decide what would be the best vowel to help. I'm not sure. But next, I'm going to go into the hyperfunctional use of the jaw. So this occurs, so this is when there's just too much of the jaw, you're locking it up, and you're having way too much tension. So then, to demonstrate that, I guess I could go, I'll just kind of hold it here. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Ooh. The tone was okay, but the amount of tension could maybe be kind of destructive to the singing process in general. And it seems like that would just make singing plain not fun and make people want to quit if they're constantly doing that and don't realize that. It's painful. I wouldn't want to do that when I'm singing. So then the exercise I picked out of these ones was beginning of a yawn, dropping your jaw, and then really opening up without tension. And I'll mention a little transfer. I actually had to work very hard at this kind of exercise for playing trombone, but it was for the lower range, and it helped make me better at bass trombone and stuff, because you have to really relax. You really cannot have tension. All the musculature and I guess the necessary tension to an extent should really be here. So I'm wondering if that's kind of the same concept with singing. So we'll demonstrate the exercise now. So no tension. Relax. So I almost feel like I have to push out and find where the tension would happen and then stop and just think positive thoughts. Maybe I could see where a student would tense up bad when they're nervous and stuff too, and they're just pushing with the jaw. So then there's that issue talked about. And then, yep, I'm pretty much, this should be lastly right here, is the hyperfunctional use of the tongue. So this can mean many things apparently. This is a lot. So too much or too large of movement when you're singing, too slow, which would limit mobility, and then add tension. We don't want any unnecessary tension when singing at all, ever, with any process, no matter where, how. And then maybe pushing forward against the teeth or elevating too much. So just overall improper usage of the tongue. But it's on the more too much side and less on the not using it at all, which was the hypo. So that's my understanding. So then I guess my best demo of this would be really overpronouncing, not so much here, but inside. I'm not quite sure how to demo that, but I'm going to try it right now. So, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. I'll go into the next bit. Had a very shiny nose. Yeah. So it wasn't as bad with affecting the singing tone-wise or sound. Well, it was closed off. It was closed off. For sure, it was not open at all. Of course, most of these issues cause some kind of closed offness in some kind of way, or if it doesn't, then your sound is weakened. So there's that issue. The tension, I think it caused some tension for me in the throat a little bit, but yeah, tension in the tongue too. It was not comfortable. None of these have felt so comfortable to me at all, but maybe someone could accidentally get into the habit and then think, oh yeah, I'm comfortably singing, and they're not. So then the exercise I picked out for this one was tone agility. So the specific consonants given to help with this was looking like it's L, D, and T. So going through those over and over again. So maybe without a tone and with a tone, I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Maybe that would help, but I'll demo right now. I'll do both. So we'll do no tone first. So, da, 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 D, and then T, T. That helps with more staccato articulation. That seems to work for both singing and playing instrumentally. For winds, anyways. So then, I'll do that with a tone too. Okay. Well, I could see where that would really help. And we're at 10-minute mark. Perfect. Looks like I got through all the content. I'll double check very quick though before I end the video. Yep, we went through the hypo, both lips, jaw, tongue. I talked about the tension, impact of singing, and I did do it on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, I didn't solfege on it, so I can do if need be, I can do a quick solfege version of some of that. But yeah, let me know. And to any YouTube friends watching, let me know if you learned something more about singing. Have a good one.